Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a maze, walls closing in, and no way out? That's how Emma felt one rainy morning in Chicago. She was in her mid-30s, working a job she didn't love, with dreams that felt like distant echoes. Every day looked the same: wake up, coffee, commute, work, sleep. Over and over, like an endless cycle. But inside, there was a small spark, a quiet whisper that told her there was something more. She just didn't know how to find it. She'd get these flashes of what her life could be, moments where she could almost see it. But then doubt would creep in, pulling her back down. One evening, as Emma scrolled aimlessly on her phone, she came across a simple quote: "You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step." Those words seemed to pierce through the fog in her mind. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept repeating them to herself, over and over. And something shifted. She decided to take that first step, even if she was scared. Emma had always loved writing, but she'd kept her stories hidden, afraid no one would care. That night, she opened her old laptop and let the words flow. They weren't perfect. They didn't have to be. One page turned into two, and soon she was writing every night. It became her secret ritual, the quiet time when she felt most alive. Emma didn't have fancy equipment or a professional setup. She wrote in the corner of her living room, sometimes with her cat asleep beside her. She didn't worry about grammar or titles. She just wrote. Her stories were small at first, tiny windows into her thoughts and her world. But each one was a piece of her. When she finally got the courage to share one online, she expected silence. Instead, she got a single comment. Just one, but it said, "Thank you for this. It's what I needed to hear today." That one comment lit a fire inside her. Maybe she really did have something to offer. Maybe her voice mattered. The weeks turned into months. Emma faced rejections, emails with polite, "No thank you" notes. There were nights she wondered if she was just wasting her time. But she didn't stop, because in those quiet hours, as she poured her heart onto the screen, she felt like she was coming home to herself. She began sharing her work in small online groups, places where people longed for connection and honesty. And slowly, her words started to find their way to others. Strangers wrote to her, saying how her stories made them feel seen. How they'd been walking through the same dark halls and found a light in her words. Emma realized something important: success isn't a loud, sudden burst. It's the slow, steady rhythm of showing up. It's the courage to keep going when no one's watching. It's the quiet moments when your heart whispers, "This matters." One night, she wrote a story called "The Girl Who Walked Through Walls." It was about her own journey, about the fears that built walls around her, and how she learned to walk through them, one small step at a time. She didn't have fancy visuals or flashy editing, just her voice and her story. And that was enough. She shared it, and within days, it took on a life of its own. People shared it and sent her messages of gratitude. They told her how they saw themselves in her story, how they felt less alone. Emma realized then that sometimes, one honest voice can echo in 1,000 hearts. Today, Emma still writes every night. She doesn't do it for the applause or the numbers. She does it for that feeling, the spark that says, "Keep going." Some nights are hard, some nights she doubts everything. But she knows she can always find her way back to the words. And maybe that's what matters most, not how loud your voice is, but how true it is. Not how many people hear it, but how deeply it touches those who do. So if you're feeling stuck or small, remember Emma's story. You don't need a perfect plan or fancy tools. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take that first step. Because once you do, you'll see that the world can open up in ways you never imagined. The journey begins with a single step. Take yours today.